All right, today we are here with Tana Renick with the Barrel Racing Discussion Forum, and she's going to be doing 4 separate videos on bits. And so I'm going to turn it over to Tana to tell us a little bit about herself.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for taking the time to watch. I'm just going to tell you a quick little bit about myself. I grew up, my dad was a horse trader, and so I had to ride whatever he brought home, and he always wanted me to take a pickle and make it look like a rose in a week or two. So I had to quickly, being uneducated, figure out what bridles and things to put in these horses' mouths. So they did what we called the sale ring shuffle, fancy looking, so that he could make more money. And I started that at, I think I was 11 years old when I rode my first horse through the ring, and he would buy them that he basically didn't know anything about, and it's amazing I'm still alive. But that reason is why I have so many bits, have went through so many different things, because it's all about feel. And what I want to share with you today is some things that when I was that uneducated kid and didn't have a clue, I want to share some things with you that I've learned that I wish someone would have told me at that time, because it would have saved me a lot of trials and tribulations and getting hurt and that sort of thing. So the first thing I want to talk about that a lot of people don't talk about, there are 7 pressure points that has to do with our bits and hackamores, this, that, and the other. There are 3 of these pressure points that are in the horse's mouth: the tongue, the palate, and the bars. The bars is what you hear everyone talk about all the time. And I know you're thinking, well, you just said there were 7 pressure points, you just listed 3. The other 4 are your cheek, your nose, your poll, and your jaw. And all of these are so important, because if you think about it, if someone puts a fork or a stick or something in your mouth and pulls on you, it's going to feel funky, but there's bendy straws that's going to feel better to you. So that being said, the bars of a horse's mouth are shaped more like this. It is a thin covering of skin over some nerve endings and stuff. That's a very thin covering of skin that's basically over bone. And we're taking steel and putting in these horses' mouths and pulling and hoping. A lot of us are hoping for the result. Every once in a while, I'm in situations I'm hoping for a result too, instead of being educated enough to get it. So therefore, that I want to be able to communicate as efficiently and successfully with these horses as possible. I want to keep all of their body parts working in order as I'm running straight to a barrel, and I want whatever is the easiest for them to understand to be the most efficient that they can possibly be. The number one thing that I ask customers when they bring me horses to ride, the first thing I ask them is when they have their teeth done last. And I'll have a lot of people have to think about it a year and a half, 2 years ago. My rule of thumb, if they are 7 years old or younger, I want their teeth done every 6 months, because especially the younger they are, the more they're changing, they're shedding caps, they're getting sharp points, and they don't understand when you pull on them and something razor blades or makes their insides of their little mouths like hamburger meat on their cheeks, because we don't know what's going on. Therefore, at every 6 months. And a lot of people get it done at a vet, and that's great. There's vets that are good too. I personally use a dentist, because I've done hair for I don't know how long now, almost 20 years. And I know that if I want my hair color to be phenomenal, I want to go to a colorist and someone that specializes in foil. If I want a phenomenal haircut, or my son's haircut just perfect, I'm going to go to a barber or someone that's what they do, because that's where you're going to get the best results with your specialists. Something that I like to show at the beginning with this is, like I just discussed, the bars of the horse's mouth, how they're shaped, and they're covered with thin skin, and it's like bone. And the best way I know to think about it is kind of like your forearm here, how that feels. So that being said, the natural shape of our bars are like this. So when we have these bits like this, and basically the mouthpiece is pretty straight, or you can get a lot of mouthpieces that are straighter than this. when you have that super straight mouthpiece coming back, there's no give to it anywhere, and that's hard on the nerve endings and stuff. And the more you pull on those straight mouthpieces and this, that, and the other, the more damage you make, the more scar tissue you make, and then you have a horse that doesn't have hardly any feel to them. And in my world, feel is the number one most important thing at every stage of this game. And developing the proper feel is something we work at daily, because everyone isn't going to have the same kind of feel that I have. So I want, when they step on a horse that I've trained, I want it all to be easy for the rider and the horse, and everybody be educated and understand. If Joe will help me just a second here, I want to show you something that I do at my clinics. I take this roll of toilet paper, and you'll have to hold it like this right here. And I want to just show you a little bit, if we can point that more towards the camera, how these mouthpieces do in the horse's mouth. Like this one here is straighter than I like, and it's smaller. I keep this bridle because it does have a good feel. I don't use it real often. But if you'll take that, and now let's say over time, how our hands, see how that's fraying that toilet paper? And you see when I take that off, see how rough that is? And that was just a few seconds of pulling, and I wasn't pulling too hard. It's just a lot of us seesaw instead of putting constant pressure, and for that release. Horses learn by immediate release, but I see so many people time and time again seesawing. Well, I just lightly seesawed for a few seconds one time with a straighter, smaller type mouthpiece, and look at what I did. And this is not cheap toilet paper. It's $high toilet paper. So it's got more stamina than, something else. Something else, like these, this is a very, got me a fresh one. All right. Okay, this is a very well built Flay Hardy bit I won. And it has a really nice, I don't know if you can see that or not, curve for the bars. So this can sit in the bit seat really nice and sit there and have the good feel. But it's square all the way around. So a lot of us think, a square mouthpiece is more harsh than your twisted. Is that right there in the middle? Okay. Now I'm pulling and I'm putting pressure, and I'm even seesawing like I don't want you to do. But I'm even seesawing and putting the same pressure I just put on there. And then you take it off. Very little fraying, which I know shocks everybody. Like at the clinics, everybody's like, oh my gosh, that square mouthpiece didn't cut their mouth up and the other one did. I mean, but that's something you don't think about until you put this on something soft. And this toilet paper is a whole lot softer than the mouth. So, I mean, can you imagine what they're feeling like if we have the wrong mouthpiece, or a mouthpiece that's not really designed to sit in there in that bit seat? How uncomfortable that is for the horse. And then we wonder why they're throwing their head up in the air. And then the last one, I was going to just demonstrate this just because it's very popular. This is a Ed Wright medium shank dog bone. It conforms really nice when you put it on there, but this is popular. All of us have a dog bone something in our arsenal. But when you, the curb's messed up, there we go. But this one, you can pull on this one all you want to, but it goes into the shape easier. This is just easier on their mouth. And you can get more, these dog bones and stuff will allow you to hit at a different spot on the pressure of the pressure point, like of the tongue. And it just gives you a different feel. A lot of horses are a lot more accepting to this, but that's why, because it's not as evasive and harsh, But I mean, the worst one of all of this was your twisted wire. One thing that I'm very passionate about, obviously, is bits. But I see this all the time. We will pay $3,000 for a saddle, $10,000, $20,000, $100,000, $200,000 for a horse, and then you want to buy cheap bits that goes in the horse's mouth that is your communication key to that horse while you're going fast, and you wonder why it's all not working perfect. well, this is as far as my bits are, this is one of the cheapest ones I've got. And I think you've seen what the cheaper one does on the toilet paper. So that's just a point that I wanted to point out. These horses are worth it if we're going to put the time and the effort and the money into it, get their teeth done, help them out, get them the best quality stuff that you can get. Granted, I'm not made of money, but when it comes to these horses, I'm going to do whatever I've got to do for them to be the most successful because they're depending on me. Something else. Okay, so here's where when I get, say, a 2-year-old in, I won't take a horse in that has less than 60 or 90 days, and if the 60 days, I'll take them 60 days from certain colt breakers. There's some that I want them ridden longer, but because it's just me, and history has proven that when I hit the ground, like I have at some rodeos, my bones break. So I'm very careful and in particular about how I want a horse to ride when I get on them, if I keep them in training. So when they first come in, if the trainer, the colt breaker, if they're riding them in an O-ring, that's what I'll do for the first little bit. I don't stay in O-rings very long. I just do that if that's what that colt was used to, because I don't want to just scare them. As far as O-rings go, this is my very favorite one. It's a reverse twist O-ring from Cow Horse Supply. I'd be lying to you if I told you what size the mouthpiece is. I don't know. It's got that nice curve to set in the bit seat on the bars, just like I like, but this has a really good feel. And now I have taken this on older finished horses, and say they were pushing on me or just kind of not feeling right, or I just wanted to exercise them one day or something. I have put this on them, and boy, they'll feel real good with it for 2 or 3 days, because it's almost like I gave them a break too. This is the other O-ring that I use. I do not use very many smooth mouthpiece things because I don't want a horse to learn to lug on me. I would rather have a little too much in their mouth than not enough, because just because I have a lot in their mouth doesn't mean I have to ask for all of it. But this O-ring has a really, really good feel. Again, I don't know what the size of it is. It's a Cow Horse Supply as well. But, you know, your feel comes from how that is the nice arc and for the natural for the bars for those horses' mouths. From these, I'll go a lot of times to one of these, because I don't like to go from an O-ring straight to a curb bit. To me, a lot of them have accepted this really well. I have a smooth mouth in this too for the babies, but you know, again, just because this can be harsh if you need it to be, but at the same time they understand it more, because this shank comes up and it just pulls that nose around, and then you can bring your leg and ask them to come around that way without a bunch of drama and scaring them. I love this right here also. And I ride this on everything from 2-year-olds to finished horses. I rarely run in it, but I will. I see a lot of people running in it. This is the Carter Collector from Cow Horse Supply. This one is the Todd Gag. But I use this every day. It's just me here. And I have anywhere from 10 to 14 that I ride a day, which is all I can. It's plenty, because I am the stall cleaner and the whole 9 yards, because I want to be around these horses. I want to know if they didn't use the bathroom as much last night as they did the night before, and vice versa. I want to know. But this, I could not live without these. And because they're accepted by everything, they're great in riders' hands. Like at my clinics, I put these on almost everybody's horses, because rib control is the number one problem I see in the clinics and everywhere is we wasn't educated how to get those ribs and stuff. And when they learn that bad habit of blocking you out with the rib, I don't want it pulling into a pulling match. And these won't allow the horse to keep on and on and on bracing on you. This here is, I think they call it like a junior cow horse. It's got a bigger type twist in it. I use this a little, you know. I have one friend that's won tons in this bridle or in this bit, but I like it, but it's not it's not necessarily one of my favorites, but I won't get rid of it, because every once in a while I'll have a horse. I mean, Streak and Boondocks in the beginning won a lot in this, but it just kind of depends. I keep it around. I'll use it every once in a while. But like all of these bits, there's certain things that are going to fit my hands that you guys are not going to like, and vice versa. Now this bit here, it sounds like I'm working for Cow Horse Supply. I'm not, I promise. I'm just picky. This, I really like this. It also has the reverse twist, which has a different feel to these horses. And I know Krista Lucas runs in this. I recommended it to her one time, and she has made a lot of runs and made a lot of money in this also. But this, the Colts accept really well, and you can ride on your older horses too. Occasionally, after you've been in it a little while, I'll feel them want to start pushing a little, and then I'll get out of it and either come back to this or change, kind of what I'm doing. But that's what I do, and start the babies in, and to get them ready for me to start them on the pattern.
Okay, Tana, I wanted to thank you for your time. You just have so much information for the Barrel Racing Discussion Forum. Just want to stress to everybody that our professionals are volunteering their time to give their knowledge. But also, where can we contact you? Because you're a businesswoman. We know we want to bring some clients to you and answer questions.
Well, thank you, Joe, for asking me for this opportunity. I truly enjoy any way I can help riders and horses communicate better for a less stressful relationship for everyone. A friend of mine set up a Facebook page. We're just now growing it. It's called Fearless to First. There's a link on there that you can click on, and you can send me video clips of your problems, and I will answer 1 to 2 questions. A lot of times with a video, if you need that. Most problems I feel I can help you with. Sure, can't guarantee your results without visually seeing it, but I'd be glad to. So check out that Facebook page, Fearless to First. Also, you can find me promoting Streak and Boondocks, the AQHA World Champion healing horse in 2011, and I've won lots of pro rodeo money on him, barrel races, that sort of thing. Phenomenal stallion. And also, I've got to thank my sponsors. I'm so blessed with them. They have stuck with me through thick and thin, broke bones and not, great success, upbeat things, and down in the dumps. So I'm like y'all, every time we can be positive and have any sort of positive anything, just like the Fearless to First, any kind of positive quotes, uplifting things, signs, things like that. I love those, being posted on there. But my great sponsors, Cowgirl Tough, Robbie Phillips Salary, and of course JD Bits. I cannot forget JD and Diane Morrow. Diane keeps JD all fed and everything so he can make our great bits. Brad Lesh and Cow Horse Supply, Rosie Bradley and Texas Oxygen, Simply Equine with Heather Benson is been a phenomenal addition to my program, and I couldn't keep my horses feeling good and do stuff without her. She's phenomenal. Shauna Turner with Supple Steeds, Gina Franklin with Magna Wave treatments. I've been seeing huge results in what I've been getting done there lately. Also, Equine Omega Gold, Stephanie and Kirkpatrick. I've always known how important it was with your omegas and this, that, and the other in these horses' feed, but that has so far been the best omega product I have fed, and all my customer horses get it, and I love it. Another product I wouldn't want to go without. But I just can't I can't say enough. And Iconoclast boots, they've sure stuck with me through thick and thin as well. And I don't know what else to say other than I've enjoyed spending time with you guys today. And if there's anything I can try to help you with, just remember, no question is silly or stupid. We've all been there. Every successful barrel racer that runs down the alleyway at the NFR started out as a little girl loving horses and wanting to do it. So we're all in the same boat. We're all just at different levels. So happy we could help. I have been asked to do some clinics. There may be some more clinic information soon, and I really enjoy those. So all of my students, I hope you guys seen this, and look forward to seeing you again. Thank you, Joe.